Part 18, sorry I labeled some of those wrong. Just a little more backstory to prove everything before we move on. He said that there would be time no longer, and then the next thing that he tells you is that they would trample the city underfoot for 42 months, the Gentiles. Now what is the wrath of the Lamb? It's whenever the Gentiles come and trample the city underfoot until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. And the Jews fall by the edge of the sword and they're led away captive into all nations. How long did the beast rule? 42 months. And while he's talking about the beast ruling in chapter 13, he says, hear what the Spirit says. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity, and he who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. These unbelieving Jews killed Romans with the sword. That's what caused this war. And they led into captivity all the Christians. So the beast, the unbelieving Jews, were killed with the sword and led into captivity for 42 months, while Jesus and the saints used the rod of iron, which was Rome, to bring the wrath of God on them. Now he says that there would be time no longer. The next thing he says is, arise, John, measure the temple, the altar, and them that worship therein, because that means it's finished. In the Bible, whenever somebody measures something, it's finished. The Jews are finished. The believers are out of Judea. The 144,000 are with them, with Christ, ruling and reigning. And whenever they saw these armies come in 66 AD, they got out of Judea and fled into the mountains, the believers did, because there would be great wrath upon that people. And then he said that whenever they saw these armies come, that this was the abomination that would make the temple desolate. And he told them, look up, for your redemption draws nigh, and then they would see the Son of Man, the sign of the Son of Man in the clouds. And as we go on in chapter 11, it's going to prove that the witnesses and all this was happening during the time of the beast. My belief about the two witnesses is because just like the rest of the things in Revelation, it ends a chapter and then starts the next subject by telling you that. So I think he told John that he would prophesy again because he's one of the two witnesses, because the next thing that he talked about was the two witnesses. And I think that it was the spirits of John and Daniel that were the two witnesses, because they both saw a lot of the same things, and it was about the end. And to Daniel, God said, Daniel, go your way. Seal this vision up, because it's not until the time of the end. And then Jesus comes and says, whenever you see the abomination of desolation, the armies come to Jerusalem, like Daniel said, get out of Judea, because it's the time of the end. And Daniel said at the end of the war, desolations were determined. And he told John not to seal them because the time was at hand. But he told Daniel, he said, you will go your way and rest and stand in your lot at the end of days. Saying stand in your lot at the end of days is much different than what he said to anybody else about the last days. Stay tuned.